Hey everybody, Zach here, and it is time for the show that can only be described as a mishmash of various forms of entertainment. Sit back and relax and get ready because we are on air. Hey everybody, it's your boy Zach here, and I'm back with another new episode of the show that should make sense by now, but somehow still doesn't. On air. Alright, how many of you been watching the Olympics? Not many? Okay, great. Me neither. I just catch the highlights. Or as one famous and beloved sportscaster, Bernie Smilovitz from Channel 4 would say, we got highlights. And one of those is Bob the Cap Catcher. Now this man has become a sensation after rescuing lost swim caps at the bottom of the pool. No job's too big, no job's too small for Bob the Cap Catcher. Now, I should say he got the name from NBC swimming analyst and 7-time Olympic gold medalist Amy Van Dyken, and he was on full display doing the Lord's work. Hallelujah, sir. Hallelujah. After one of Sunday's women's 100-meter backstroke preliminary races, Team USA's Emma Weber lost her swim cap with it sitting at the bottom of the pool. Someone had to jump in and retrieve it before the next heat could begin. To make this better, the NBC Olympics and Paralympics tweeted, "Who do you call when a swim cap falls in the pool? Bob the Cap Catcher." Makes you wonder who's going in for the Speedos. We call him the Speedo Chaser. Yes, that made quite the dynamic duo. The Cap Catcher and Speedo Chaser. In a way, they are both catching caps. Thank you for your service. Alright, from Olympic royalty to regular royalty. Prince William revealed that he shouted, "I'm free," after dumping Kate Middleton in 2007. Gasp, what? You spill my tea. The Prince of Wales, then aged 25, is said to have ended things with the Princess of Wales after deciding he was too young to settle down, according to Rob Jobson, who reveals in his new biography of Kate, which details the couple's brief 2007 split. Now, what makes this even better is the fact that he shouted it while doing a drunken version of the robot. Now, I gotta say, how would that have even gone? Probably something like this. I'm free, I'm free. According to No, I am not okay. Now, according to reports at the time, the prince also had his eye on someone else, the socialite Isabella Anstruther Gough Calthorpe, but she is said to have rejected his advances because she did not want to be constrained by the inevitable demands of the royal life. Now, this pegs the question, can a breakup be a good thing? I mean, listen, when you're young, so if there's any of the youth out there talking to you, it can be. Now, one of the reasons is that you should reflect on not only what they did wrong, but what you did wrong. Also, you got no one bossing you around, telling you what to do. That's your parents' job, first of all. Also, if you are in the carousel of breaking up and getting back together, stop it. Taylor Swift did not write "We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together" for you. Pull that. So knock it off. Knock it off. For me personally, when it's over, it's over. Mainly in part to that song. I hold that like gospel. Going from breaking up to dying. That's right. Someone wrote into the advice column Miss Manners about crowdfunding funerals. Look, I'm more likely to crowdfund for Taylor Swift tickets, than a family member. So the author wrote, 3 times in the past year, friends have sent me links to crowdfunding sites where family members were soliciting funds to bury a relative. I am uncomfortable adding myself to the list of donor names followed by a dollar amount. I mean, by the way, this also included cremation, biodegradable urns, jewelry made from the ashes for the 5 adult children, a future celebration of life ceremony, and money to purchase a tribute of 5 to 15 trees. Look, in my sincerest opinion, funerals are expensive, and the dead guy sure as heck ain't footing the bill, but it should be split amongst the family members, not strangers. The economy we're in is tough on us, but it could be more rough on you. So keep it in the family. All right. All right, we got more. We got more here. A woman wrote into the advice column, Dear Prudence. By the way, if you are wondering where half my topics come from, advice columns is where it's at. That's exactly where these come from. Anywho, a woman wrote in saying she is constantly bombarded by her neighbors' naked antics. Back in January, my husband and I purchased a lovely 2-story home in a quiet neighborhood. It has a large balcony above the backyard that is perfect for entertaining, which we do often. Not anymore. It also affords an expensive view of our next door neighbor's yard as well. Initially, this was not a problem. But when the weather grew warmer, things started changing. Our neighbor has a pool and he often sunbathes and lounges by his pool naked. I have told our neighbor what we are able to see and asked him to either cover up or postpone his tanning sessions for when we aren't using our balcony, especially when our 2 kids, who are 7 and 10, are there. All right, listen here. Lady, it's his yard. The man wants to sunbathe naked. He can sunbathe naked anywhere he pleases. He does not have to revolve his tanning sessions around your children. Sorry. That's kind of like, I don't know. We need to stop. All right, here, listen. We need to stop being like, when people are naked, it's like, ugh, gross, ew. I mean, come on. Because think about this. This is something that is normal in other countries that I'm going to say. Yes, I think we're probably like the only country where you can be naked and it's frowned upon. I mean, first of all, come on. If he wants to tan naked in the summer, he can tan naked in the summer. He wants to tan naked in the winter, he can deal with the frostbite later. This lady is a Karen. I'm sorry. Yeah, so just get over it. Like, come on. You should have the freedom to be nude, the freedom to having it all just hang out wide out in the open. Now, I will say one thing about this is kind of like the manner he's doing it in. Because, I mean, there's a difference between him just laying on his lawn chair by the pool, you know, naked, just lying back like that. And, I mean, if he's, you know, sitting with one leg up being like, hey, baby, like Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, like sitting in that manner, just being like, yeah, I got your chlorine. Anywho, we're moving on. Roast away, sir. Of course, it is time to we really need to move on. All right, it's time for the part of the show where I send out the Zach signal to you in the audience. And I asked you if you had a theme song, what would it be? Mine, I would say it would have to be the theme song from Cheers. I like that one. But as usual, I got some great answers. And I love the fact that it's not all just TV theme songs. But nonetheless, here we go. Rob Llewellyn says, I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Patricia Curtali said, get the party started by Pink. I'm coming up, so you better get the party started. You're welcome, Mom. Jody Russell Hickson said, Dancing Queen. Ben Maney said, the Imperial Death March. If I knew for sure how it goes, I would do it. Mike Patterson says, My Way. Shirley Liberty Dolphin Fillion says, girls just want to have fun. Girls, they want to have fun. Cindy Foster Van Dyke said, life is a highway. Respect. Now, hold on. Now I have a question for you. Tom Cochran or Rascal Flatts? There's a difference. Honey West said, roar. I just want to hear you roar. And just like that, we are getting started. So make sure you don't turn that dial, because today I got a haunting, did you know? Ooh. My latest watch list, views and reviews. And as usual, I cap it off with the weirdest news found on the internet. So keep it here because we are on air. Before I continue with this week's programming, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Zachattackproductions. If you like this broadcast, then you'll definitely love my channel. So make sure you head over there and subscribe, because we don't only air here. I air over there as well. So make sure you tune in to On Air Saturday at 8 on the Zachattackproductions YouTube channel. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And more news this time from the CKRT family. I want to send my biggest on-air congrats to Johanna Vanden Beauregard on her recent marriage. May you and your new husband live in the holiest of matrimony. Alrighty, I can tell you right now the weather is hot and it is muggy. It is so hot. It is so hot outside. I've only been doing this show for the air conditioning. That's how hot it is. However, we've certainly had worse and sometimes just downright historic. That's why every week I break down the weather events that are notable and don't happen very often in my segment This Week in Weather History. On August 2nd, 1960, hail the size of a hen egg caused moderate damage to a total loss of corn, soybean, and grain crops on 50 to 75 farms in Marshall, Roberts, and Grant counties. High winds caused damage to buildings and uprooted trees in Britain. 1985, a strong and sudden wind gust caused a plane crash at the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport in Texas that killed 135 people. The rapid and unexpected formation of a supercell, an incredibly powerful form of a thunderstorm, led to the tragedy. 2006 in Johannesburg, South Africa, residents see snow flurries for the first time in at least 8 years. Let's keep the weather historic at bay. That's This Week in Weather History. Anyone who knows me knows I love spooky things. And growing up in Amherstburg, you would always hear about the spookiest place imaginable. Texas Road. I've heard all the stories from the hanging tree to the headless horseman who rides around near the cemetery at night. I myself even wrote a script based on the road in a more slasher-oriented story. So, when I came up with my segment, Did You Know?, I knew this was a must to have on the list of places I wanted to discuss. So without further ado, get ready to get spooked with this haunting edition of Did You Know? On the outskirts of Windsor lies a picturesque county road that has been associated with ghost stories for generations. So, what makes Texas Road a must-see attraction? I'll tell you in this edition of Did You Know? Texas Road has been a source for urban legends for years, and it is a really popular road with local ghost hunters. These ghostly tales go back as far as the colonial period when the road was being constructed. It is believed that the area is haunted by employees of a train company that used to work on the train tracks. There have also been reports of people seeing anything from the Headless Horseman to ghosts, and there have been many people who've just mysteriously disappeared.
We can go down to the end of Texas Road tonight then.
What the hell are you talking about?
All those ghost stories, man.
In 2010, a movie was made about the famous road. The film was directed by Windsor native Dylan Pierce and centered around 5 friends who take a joyride and then find themselves haunted by an unspeakable evil.
So I was talking about those stupid stories.
The ones with the ghosts and goblins.
Jessica! The more you know. For Mediaplex News, I'm Zachary Balogh. In case you haven't noticed, I love to curl up with a good movie. Whether it's horror, comedy, drama, I love them all. But I never thought of watching movies as homework until I started the newly revamped journalism, film, and social media program here at St. Clair College. By the way, there's still spaces available in this program if you're interested. Zach, shameless plug. Oh, please. I have no shame. Anywho, since I'm always watching movies, I thought I'd give some recommendations, and that is why I have created Zach's Watch List. First up is The Devil Wears Prada. After graduating from university, Andy lands the dream job that a million girls would kill for. Assistant to Miranda Priestley, the chief editor of Runway, the top-selling fashion magazine in the industry. Next is the movie Dumb and Dumber. Imbecilic best friends Lloyd Christmas, played by Jim Carrey, and Harry Dunn, played by Jeff Daniels, stumble across a suitcase full of money left behind in Harry's car by Mary Swanson, played by Lauren Holly, who is on her way to the airport. The pair decide to go to Aspen, Colorado to return the money, unaware that it is connected to a kidnapping. As Harry and Lloyd, who has fallen in love with Mary, are pursued across the country by hired killers and police, they find both their friendship and their brains tested. And lastly is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary artifact that can change the course of history. Now, first of all, why are we changing history? Have we not learned anything from Back to the Future? Don't change history because you'll end up sleeping with your mother. Anywho, that's this week's watch list. I hope I inspired you to watch something new. And this show's gotten off the rails pretty quickly. I think we're only like halfway through, and already we've had, chlorine, sleeping with your mother. I mean, it's just, maybe that was the intention of the guy sunbathing naked. Anyway, now, listen, we gotta keep, oh man, I have no idea what's happening right now. Now it is time for the part where I review all forms of entertainment, new and old. Time for Zach's Views and Reviews. Alrighty, I have two films that I'm going to review today, and the first one is the aforementioned The Devil Wears Prada, starring Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. The movie revolves around Andrea Andy Sachs, who has just gotten hired for a job whom millions of women would die for. Assistant to Miranda Priestley, the chief editor of Runway magazine. Now, I'll have to admit, while watching this, I'm thinking, oh my god, I sound like Miranda half the time. Regardless, this was actually a really good movie. I loved the flowing story, the good character development, story arcs, and it just made it was just a lot of fun to watch. I mean, there was some acting that could have been, better, maybe a different cast choice for some of the, lesser known characters, but I think Emily Blunt actually did a really good job. So I'll give it 4 Z's. For that. Moving on to the next one, The Three Amigos. This movie, starring Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Chevy Chase, star as 3 cowboys from the silent film era who had just gotten fired. So I guess their careers went silent. Or so we thought. They are offered a paying gig to protect a village from a ruthless gang of drug lords. Now, I will have to admit, I've always heard this film as their greatest film, but I think, it fell a little bit short. Some parts were funny, but whatever kind of comedy they were doing just, didn't work half the time. So 3 Z's for that one. Lastly, do you have that one song where you don't care for it the first time, but later on you can't get it out of your head? Well, for me, that is the song That's When by Taylor Swift featuring Keith Urban. Now, for those of you who don't know, this song is a vault track from Taylor Swift's re-recorded album Fearless. And it served as her second collab with Urban since they were featured on the Tim McGraw song Highway Don't Care back in 2013. Now, this song has grown on me, and it gives me that nostalgia that some of these re-recordings have given me. It is a track that when you sit and you listen to it, you are instantly transported back to the OG Fearless era in circa 2008 and 2009. Keith's voice just makes the song feel just like the olden days of country music, like I'm talking pre-2010s country music, when yes, I'll say it, country music was good. This song, however, does lack in the writing, which may explain why it was left off the original Fearless album. But nonetheless, it's a great track. It is just so fantastic that I'll be playing it for you right now. So if you're feeling nostalgic for that 2000s country tune, here's Taylor Swift and Keith Urban with That's When.
You said I know when I said I need some time, need some space to think about all of this. You watched me go, and I knew my words were hard to hear and harder to ever take back. And I said, when can I come back? And you said, that's when I wake up in the morning. That's when it's sunny or storming, laughing when I'm crying. And that's when I'll be waiting at the front gate. That's when I see your face, I'll let you in. And baby, that's when
said I know, when you said I did you wrong, made mistakes, and put you through all of this. Then through the phone came all your tears, and I said leave those all in our past. And you said, when can I come back? And I said, that's when I wake up in the morning. That's when it's sunny you're storming, laughing when I'm crying. And that's when I'll be waiting at the front gate. That's when I see your face, I'll let you in. And baby, that's when. And you said, honestly, when you were gone, did you ever think of me? And I said, that's when I woke up in the morning. That's when it was sunny or storming, laughing when I was crying. And that's when you were waiting at the front gate. That's when I saw your face, you let me in. And baby, that's when. When I'm laughing, when I'm crying, that's when I miss you, that's when I want you, that's when I love you, that's when.
I know, I say this every week, but this might be the weirdest news story I have ever read. Police responded to a armed robbery with hand sanitizer. That's right, law enforcement who were on the scene have confirmed that the male individual was armed with the bottle and is using it as a weapon and threatening others with it. Using the 1-gallon hand sanitizer bottle, the authorities are working to de-escalate the situation. All right, give me all the money, or I swear to God, I'll sanitize your hands. All right, if that wasn't weird enough, it's time for the weirdest news found on the internet. Time for weird news. A 6-foot-tall wax replica of Abraham Lincoln, created by artist Sandy Williams IV, was no match for a heat wave because, well, he melted. But thanks to the temperature topping 100 degrees over the weekend, Lincoln's head got a little too gooey for comfort, so it was removed and stored for safekeeping, with plans to reattach it on Tuesday, the Post reported. Even before Wax Lincoln No. 2's head melted off, the statue began to droop backwards, making it appear like the former president was exhausted and slouching back in his seat. I mean, I too would be doing that. All right, from Washington to West Palm Beach, it's time for...
Florida man does whatever a Florida man can. Look out, here comes the Florida man.
When a crime gets committed, you rarely ever get a confession out of the suspect. Well, that's what happened to one Florida man who apparently did not know why he stole from Walmart, saying, quote, "That was stupid of me." A Florida man has found himself behind bars after he allegedly stole several items from Walmart and hid them inside a trash can. He told deputies, though, that he did not know why he did it, according to the arrest affidavit from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Police arrested Eric Slaughter on Tuesday and charged him with felony larceny, retail theft after the incident that unfolded at the Walmart in Ocala. According to the arrest affidavit, Slaughter bought a plastic trash can, but also had another trash can that had other items inside that he didn't pay for. Slaughter didn't pay for the second trash can either, deputies said. Slaughter spoke with deputies in a post-Miranda interview and spontaneously apologized. "That was stupid of me," Slaughter said, told deputies when they asked about switching the shoe's barcode for a fishing bobber. Slaughter has several previous guilty convictions for grand theft and petite theft dating back to 2006. Make sure you check for those Legos. That's the weirdness for this week, and since it is that time of the show, I'll be reaching into my baggie of dad jokes here, and let me see what kind of jokes I can catch this time around. Let's see. Okay, here we got one here. Why don't penguins like rock music? Because they only like soul. I don't know. We're Jin again. Why did the puppy sit in the shade? Because he didn't want to become a hot dog. Alright, maybe another one. What kind of music do cheese fans like to listen to? R&B. Alright, that's it. That's it. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up. Well, that is today's show, and I want to say thank you so much for dropping by. I'll see you again next week. Same place, same time. Alright, now I gotta kick you out. Why Semisonic?
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl. Closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. Places you will be from. Closing time. This room won't be open till your brothers or your sisters come. So gather up your jackets, move it to the exits. I hope you have found a friend. Closing time. From some other beginning's end. Yeah, I know who I want to take me home. I know Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.